Adventures in time and space, told in future tense. Dimension. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction, bring you Dimension X.
This is the story of the second expedition to the planet of Landro. I am recording it for any future expeditions which might land on this God-forsaken sphere, in the hope that they may learn from our tragic example. As I write, there are 2 of us left. 2 out of an original complement of 180 men. One of us, myself, will be dead in less than 27 minutes. As for the other, heaven have mercy on him. This is how it happened. On June 3rd, 1997, less than 2 months ago, the last of our supply ships blasted off Landro, headed for Earth.
Well, there she goes. Like a big-bottomed bird, huh?
Like to be aboard her, Battiers?
Me? Listen, Captain, I've been kicking around with you from one planet to another for so long now, they're all getting to be the same.
Not this one, Battiers, not Landro.
No, maybe you're right there. I ain't never been on one like this. It's a cemetery, that's what it is, a big, cold cemetery. Them empty cities, that's what does it. Sitting there like they was tombs.
Battiers, you're getting to be a poet in your old age.
I ain't so poetic I didn't remember to swipe a bottle of Irish off that supply ship.
What?
Right here.
You know, Brady, if you weren't the best all-around cook and troubleshooter I ever shipped, I'd court-martial you.
Well, since I ain't being court-martialed, how about we should open this Irish hair tonic after supper tonight, right?
Right. We walked back to the cluster of plastic huts we call the base. It was beginning to freeze up, and that purplish glow had settled across the planet. Yes, it was like a cemetery, all right. A cemetery of dead cities. We walked past one of them, a huge plastic dome with tall, graceful buildings, atomic power systems, vacuum conveyors. All perfect, all deserted, all ominous. How had it happened? Nobody knew for sure. But the best guess was that the plague had frightened the original inhabitants of the planet so that they had piled into rocket ships and headed for some distant planet. I often wondered why a civilization so advanced as Landro could not find a serum to beat the plague. Well, maybe the Aborigines back in the hills knew the answer. Those strange, ugly little people who had taken to the caves the day we landed. All we knew of them was what we found in the anthropological report of the expedition which preceded ours, and an occasional glimpse by someone on a hunting patrol. When I reached my shack, Morgan, the expedition surgeon, was waiting for me. He was sweating like a pig, and it wasn't the heat because my shack was as cold as a grave.
Good evening, Captain Morgan.
Well, what brings you here?
It's
Doctor?
a matter of the serum, sir.
What about the serum?
It's just that, well, it's no good.
No good.
It's too cold. 10 years too cold.
Didn't you examine it?
Yes, I did, but, well, my eyesight has been failing lately.
Well, are you aware, Doctor, that the last supply ship has returned to Earth? Do you know we'll have no more contact for 2 years?
Well, I must have misread the label, sir.
Dr. Morgan, just how long do you give us?
Well, the present immunity will last a week or so, and then it's just a question of time until someone picks up the plague. After that,
a month. 2 months at most. Do you have any thoughts as to how we might save ourselves?
No, sir, I'm afraid not.
What about the natives? They don't die from the plague.
They must have a treatment for it. If they didn't, there would be no natives.
Would you be willing to go on an expedition to the hills to find out?
Right now, Captain, I'd be willing to do anything. Absolutely anything. I'm truly sorry, sir.
You're sorry. Dr. Morgan, would you mind telling me how it feels to murder 180 men? 181? including yourself. I did a lot of thinking after Dr. Morgan left my hut. It was still unreal for me. After all, the planning of an expedition was no simple thing. You put into it the results of years of training and experience. Every man on my crew was handpicked for his skill. And yet a simple thing like a myopic surgeon misreading a label could blast the whole thing. Yes, it was a shame. I did the only thing I could think of. I yelled for Batty Ears Brady. Brady, get your carcass in here and hurry it up.
Okay. What's up?
Sit down, Batty Ears.
You got trouble, Ira?
We got trouble.
What?
The serum's no good.
What?
Morgan forgot to check it. It's 10 years too old.
Holy jumping snails. You're going to court-martial...
Well, that wouldn't do much good. We'll all be dead pretty soon unless somebody figures something out.
Why did they send these civilians with us?
Well, it was a mistake. Anybody can make a mistake. Only this was a big one.
Ira, what are you going to do?
Well, there's only one chance. One chance in 10 million.
What?
The natives.
Them cave rats, what good can they do us?
They don't get the plague.
So?
So maybe they know a cure.
Oh, listen, those gimpos don't know nothing. Take it from me.
It's the only chance.
Okay, let's get a few of them and beat it at them.
That's why you're here.
Shoot.
How'd you like to come along on a little expedition up to the cave country?
That's a good way to die young.
We die young anyway.
Okay, what's the pitch?
Now, we don't dare let the rest of the camp know. It would knock our morale to pieces.
Who's going?
You, me, the doctor, and Faulkner.
Faulkner? Listen, Ira, he's worse than the doc.
Well, I know he isn't exactly the man for a hunting trip, but he knows more about the native culture than anybody here. Now, he's the only one who's completely familiar with the records of the first expedition.
Okay, so it's me, you, the doc, and Faulkner. When do we start?
Tonight, in half an hour. Now, we should reach the cave country by tomorrow. With luck, we'll be able to find natives before night.
And then the fun starts. You know, Ira, them gimpos don't exactly love us.
Nobody loves us, Batty Ears. That's one of the great paradoxes about this job. We come here to help them, to civilize them so they can live like human beings instead of pack rats, and they run off to the hills and hide from us. Like we had to... I almost said plague. Okay, Batty Ears, get the doc and Faulkner. Benny Faulkner's body was small and consumptive. But he had a good brain. He was the best anthropologist the Interplanet Institute could recommend. He and Dr. Morgan were the only two civilians on the expedition. The rest of us were all Army or Space Patrol. And we hadn't been marching very long before Benny's frail constitution began to show signs of wear and tear.
What's the matter, Benny?
It's nothing. Just the dust. I'm allergic to dust.
You hear that, Ira? He's allergic to dust. We better call off the expedition, huh?
Easy, Batty Ears.
Yes, sir.
Want to rest a while, Faulkner?
It's okay. I can make it.
Well, we should be in the cave country in an hour or so. It'll be daybreak then, and the going will be easier. How about you, Doctor?
I'll make it.
Okay. Let's go.
Ira,
What is it?
don't look now, but very slowly turn your eyes to the right and look behind that big yellow rock.
Okay.
You see anything?
No.
Keep looking. Don't stop walking or let on.
Okay.
There.
Look like a shadow or something.
It's one of them gimpos. He's been following us now for almost an hour, dodging in and out behind rocks. I think there's more of them, too, but I couldn't swear.
Well, anyway, they know we're coming. That's for sure.
What do you think? Should we bring one in?
Not yet. We don't know how many of them there are. Just pretend you don't see them. And above all, tell the others to show no signs of fear. There's nothing will start these simple-minded cavemen like fear. That was it. The manual said under no circumstances shall a member of the patrol display fear before a native. The dignity of the Earthman must be preserved at all costs. Walk erect, be firm but just, and do not allow the native to feel he is your superior. It was a good rule, and it always worked. Just before dawn, we reached the cave country. We were tired and hungry, and we stopped to cook some food and rest. Everything was quiet. There was no sign of the Gimpo, as Battiers called him, until...
Hey, get in there, you sneaky little man. Come on, boy, break these shirts.
What's the trouble?
Look at me, Ira. They caught me one of these gimpos sneaking around outside the tent. He almost slit my throat with one of those stone knives he did. Yeah.
Bring him into the light of the fire where we can get a look.
Yeah, right.
Faulkner.
Yes, sir?
Try to establish some communication.
All right, get it.
Look out. Now, no need to knock him down, Battiers.
That's the only language they understand.
Faulkner, see if you can reach him.
Okay, Captain. I'll need a drum of some sort.
A what?
Well, I find they communicate with one another through a very primitive kind of vibration of the tongue. Now, the closest I can come is a series of drum beats, a sort of a Morse code. The psychologist on the first expedition had it worked out before he was killed by the plague. I've studied his notes, and I think it'll work.
You mean these animals can talk to one another?
I believe they can. At any rate, we'll have a chance to find out. Do we have something I can use for a drum?
Oh, here. Take my helmet.
Thank you, Doctor. Now, I'll tap it 4 times. That's a greeting of some sort.
Oh, just a moment.
Yes, sir?
I don't want you treating this fellow like an equal. Don't give him the idea that we're desperate. Once they sense that, we're lost.
All right. Here we go. Now I'll give him the helmet. Good. He seems to understand. What shall I ask him, sir?
Now, first, tell him we come in peace. Reassure him that we don't wish to hurt him or his people.
I'll try. He seems to understand. He wants to answer.
Well?
He says, others, like you, came to Landro.
He must mean the first expedition. Go on. I want you to lead around to the subject of the plague gradually. Don't let on that we're desperate.
I'll do my best, sir.
It's a strange sight. On one side of the helmet crouched little Benny Faulkner. Across from him crouched the Landrian, a humpbacked gray little creature with an enormous head and those soft lavender eyes. I'm setting forth in this narrative the transcript of their conversation as Benny Faulkner later transcribed it from the best of his memory. Faulkner, we come as friends. Native. Why? Faulkner, we will help you to rebuild your cities and make your machines work again.
Why?
We want to help you to enjoy the benefits of the great culture which once thrived on Landro.
Why?
Because we want to help you.
If we ask you not to help us, will you go away?
We stay for your own good. We have helped many others on other planets.
How?
We teach them a better way to live. Their way of life was better than your way.
Have you tried our way?
Why were your cities abandoned? Was it the plague?
Yes.
Do you still fear the plague?
Yes.
Do any of your people become afflicted?
Some.
How do you treat them? How do you keep the plague from spreading? Do you have a cure? How can we find a cure for the plague?
Go among my people.
Will we find the answer among your people?
My people have the answer.
Will you tell me the answer?
Go among my people.
The drum beats ended. As far as the Landrian was concerned, the conversation was ended. He rose to go, and Faulkner stepped from his path. But Brady was there to ensure the bet.
Hold on there, bucko. You ain't going no place.
Don't maltreat him, Brady. What'd he say, Benny?
He says his people have the answer.
What do you think?
Well, there may be some truth in it. He says some of his people still get the plague.
Well, that must mean it isn't a question of immunity. They must have a cure.
Well, he wasn't clear on that, Doctor.
And they must have a vaccine to keep it from spreading.
Does he know?
Evidently not.
I could beat it out of him.
I don't think he's lying.
Well, that leaves it up to us. Now, the first level of caves are on top of that cliff about a mile ahead.
It's a trap. I'll bet my last dollar on it.
Maybe not. We'll have to risk it.
Now, wait.
Yes, Doctor.
Let me go. I got you all into this.
How will you talk?
Well, Benny here can give me enough of the code so I can ask the big question.
All right, Doctor. We'll wait at the foot of the cliff. Now, you go on ahead. If you aren't back down in 3 hours, we'll come up after you.
What about the gimpo we've got?
Now, we'll hold him as a hostage to ensure the doctor's safety.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if the doc comes back, all right. We'll let him go. Your job, that is.
A pleasure.
Don't kick him.
Natch. But if he gives me any trouble, I'll take a shovel to his bottom. You can count on that.
It took Dr. Morgan about an hour to pick his way up the side of the cliff to the first of the openings where the Landrians lived. He waved to us before he entered the mouth of the cave. And we waved back. Then we settled down to wait. It was a long, long wait.
8 o'clock. He's been up there more than 3 hours, Ira.
We'll give him a little more time.
It's getting colder.
Now keep the fire going.
You think we'd have heard something by now? If that was going to knock him off, I mean.
Oh, not necessarily. Wait. Look. Up on the cliff.
That's the doctor.
What's he running for?
I don't know.
He looks scared.
Crazy fool. If he don't look
Hey,
out...
Doctor! Dr. Morgan, look out! Look out! We found him at the foot of the cliff, crumpled and broken. We never knew why he had thrown himself off. Scrawled across the pad he had taken with him, on which to make notes concerning the answer, was a single word. The word was courtesy. The expedition was a failure. Okay, that's it. I have to head back for camp and just wait and pray.
Not just yet, Ira. Okay?
What's on your mind, Battiers?
If it's all the same to you, I'd like to take the gimpo here out behind the rocks and have a talk with him. Okay, Ira?
What do you think you'll accomplish?
I don't know. Just a quiet little talk.
No violence.
No violence. Just a real, earnest type conversation. Okay, Ira?
It was one of those decisions a commanding officer dreads. 180 lives against the chance that Battiers could persuade the little gray man to give an answer he might not even know. I nodded, and Battiers took the little native off behind an outcropping of rock. He was back in 15 minutes, dripping with sweat. Well?
Let's go, Ira.
Nothing, huh?
But nothing.
Is he,
Yeah, they ain't made very good, those little gray people. They come apart too easy. So, let's go, Ira.
All right. Hey, Benny. Hey, Benny. What is it?
I feel kind of sick all of a sudden.
He's got a weak stomach. Dust allergy.
Hey, wait a minute. What is it, Benny?
The back of my head. Dull kind of pain.
Stick out your tongue. Give him a hand, Battiers. We've got to get him back to camp.
What is it?
I'm not sure. But that blackness on the tongue and the headache, it could be the plague. By the time we got Benny Faulkner back to camp, he had the red spots on his body. And then the fever began to rage. It was a plague, no mistake about it. Before morning, Collins, the supply sergeant, had it. Then it was Peabody. After that, the men went down like 10 pins. They screamed and moaned. And then they died. Come. Hello, Battiers.
Ira?
Have a drink. It's the last of the cough medicine.
Yeah. Tired. Oh, man, I've never been so tired.
What's the count?
We lost 6 more today.
6. That makes 29 dead. 29 in less than a week.
It's them stinking natives. They put the whammy on it.
I'd take it easy.
Easy. I'd like to take a machine gun up to them hills and knock off the whole bunch up.
How's Benny?
Now, that's a funny thing. I went into his tent this morning figuring sure he'd be dead by now. Instead, I see his fever is down a couple of points.
That's amazing. Usually gets him in a matter of days. Faulkner's been hanging on for weeks now. Well, keep an eye on him. It was a nightmare of eternity after that. A ceaseless round of caring for the stricken, of helping with the graves, of writing in the book the names of those who died. Sleep came in snatches or when we were so exhausted we couldn't stand. Then one morning, Batier's Brady dragged himself into my shack. Sit down, Bat. What's the count?
6 left. We buried the chaplain today. You got a cigarette?
Yeah, sure. How's Faulkner?
I don't get it.
Still alive?
He's getting better. He's sitting up.
Holy mackerel.
Ah, this is a good cigarette.
Well, like any other.
No, this one's different, Ira. It's my last.
What do you mean?
Take a look at my tongue, Ira. See? Little black spots.
Somehow, I managed to get him into bed. He was already raving when I gave him the last of the morphine. It was incredible. Big, brawling Batier's Brady, a tower of strength, lying sick and whimpering on a cot. I went out on the moors to think. The sun was a dull red glow. Cold breeze whipped up. The planet of Landro was an emptiness. I thought about Batier's and Dr. Morgan and Benny Faulkner. Why should Faulkner, of all of us, recover from the plague from which no man recovered? I turned and went back to see Benny Faulkner.
Hello, Captain.
Hello, Benny. How are you?
It's good. Got up and walked a couple of steps today. How goes it?
Brady's down.
Oh.
Listen, Benny. There must be some reason why you survived the virus.
Well, how about you? Why didn't you ever even get it?
I give it time.
What can I do?
I want you to tell me everything you know about yourself, everything you can remember.
But why?
Because somewhere in your makeup is some little thing that makes the difference. At least I can leave a record for any future expedition that comes to Landro. Okay?
Okay, Captain Warren. Where do you want me to start?
At the beginning. Now, I'm going to take notes.
Well, I was born on the 2nd of July in 1971. My parents were ordinary people. My father was I've told you everything I can remember. For 3 days now, you've questioned me.
All right. Now, take it from where the natives started to walk away. You stepped out of his path, and Brady grabbed him.
Okay, so I stepped out of his path.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Why did you step out of his path?
Well, why not? Courtesy, that's why. What's the matter?
Courtesy. Funny. That's the word that Dr. Morgan had written in his notebook.
Well, I don't see...
I don't either. Hey, tell me, why should you want to be courteous to a native?
Why not?
What about maintaining your own dignity?
Are you talking about dignity or arrogance? Look, I don't get this at all, Captain.
You're familiar with the records left by the first expedition, Benny. What happened with the natives?
Well, the natives were friendly enough at first, but after a while, they went back to the caves.
And when we got here, they wouldn't come near us, right?
Right.
Yet we came to help them.
So what?
So maybe this, Benny. Maybe we were all wet in our deductions. Maybe those cities weren't deserted centuries ago after all. Maybe these little people up in the caves are the same people who used to live in those cities.
Well, why should they leave?
Well, maybe they found out the big cities weren't the answer. Maybe they found out that civilization doesn't necessarily bring happiness. So they just packed up and left. Returned to the simple life.
That doesn't make sense. You're forgetting the plague.
Benny, what is the plague?
Well, I don't know.
I think the plague was nothing more than what we know as greed and arrogance.
Captain, you're going off your rocker.
I think maybe we were in line to die of it, even if the serum had been good.
Well, it violates all the laws of Earth.
We aren't on Earth. We're on Landro. A planet a million light years from home. Now, why are we trying to take these primitive, happy people and make them like ourselves? Why are we trying to mold them to convince them that they belong in cities, that they should be building better can openers instead of just enjoying human relationships? Why, Benny? If that isn't sheer, stupid, crazy arrogance, my name isn't Ira Warren. The other four went that night. 3 days later, that ear's Brady died. In his delirium, he was howling about how if he could just get his hands on one of those stinking natives, he'd wring the answer out of him. After I buried him, I went back to Benny Faulkner's tent. Faulkner was getting out of bed as I entered.
How's he, Captain?
I just buried him.
Holy Mother in heaven. That means 2 of us. 2 out of 180.
Not 2. Just 1.
Oh, but you're all right.
I have a headache. I'm beginning to sweat a little, too.
Well, can I help you any?
No, I think I'll go back to my shack and finish writing the report.
Well, maybe it isn't the plague.
No, Benny, I've seen it too many times to kid myself about it.
Look, Captain, you don't believe that junk about courtesy, do you? I mean that stuff you were talking about the other night? That's a lot of nonsense. You must know that. Holy mackerel, Captain. You can't believe it. You can't.
Good night, Benny. I think I'd like to be alone for a while.
Okay. Good night, Captain Warren.
I'm turning it over to Benny Faulkner in the hopes that he will be able to transmit it to any other expedition commander who contemplates exploring the planet of Landro. The fever is beginning to mount now. My hands tremble as I write. The end should not be far off. You see, I didn't have a chance. I stepped out of no paths.
You have just heard another adventure into the unknown world of the future. The world of Dimension X. We are just beginning to discover how boundless our universe really is. And yet, what would it be like to live in a world no larger, say, than a single gigantic rocket ship? You'll find out more about it on Dimension X next week when we present Robert Heinlein's Universe.
Dimension X is presented each week by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Street & Smith, publishers of the magazine Astounding Science Fiction. Today, Dimension X has presented Courtesy from the current issue of Astounding Science Fiction. It was written for radio by George Lefferts from the story by Clifford Simak. Featured in the cast were Lawson Zerbe as Captain Warren, Bill Zuckert as Battiers Brady, and Bill Gray as Benny Faulkner. Your host was Norman Rose. Music by Albert Berman. Dimension X is produced by William Welch and directed by Fred Way.
Good morning, and how do whack-a-doo do you do? Do whack-a-doo, whack-a-doo, whack-a-doo. I love that song. That's my song, Do Whack-a-Doo. My father's song was In the Mood by Glenn Miller. Anyway, I'll always remember that as my father's theme to his show. And I will always remember this, Do Whack-a-Doo, as the theme to my show, as I hope my daughter does, as she gets older and remembers her father. She'll remember Do Whack-a-Doo when she hears that song. She'll think, old crazy guy. Oh my God, no way, no way. Went to the mall, as did Joey yesterday. We went to the mall. We went to the malls. Right? Oh my God, right? Yeah. I got my daughter a gift, I know. My wife and I were there at the mall. And I left them at a store trying on clothes, and I went to Barnes & Noble to look at books and records. Found my book, Being Henry, and was looking through all of the records from A to Z. And I found a picture disc, Pierce the Veil picture disc. My daughter has all the albums, but she doesn't have this picture disc, and it's got some great artwork on it. And I thought, well, that'll be neat. She's into, collecting stuff, so that'll be a neat thing to have. Totally. I've got picture discs, right? I had picture discs when I was a kid. Totally. Totally. Oh. Pardon me. Boy. So last night, or yesterday, at about, 2 or 3 in the afternoon, I guess it was after 3, my wife got back from her haircut, and my daughter was ready to go, and I was in bed napping. So I got up, got my act together, and we left the house with the intent of just going out and looking for a stool cane, right? And I had already found where to get one, but it was down in Palm Springs. So we went to Big Five out here, and they did not have what I was looking for. So we went, my daughter was hungry, so it was like, okay, let's go get something to eat, and then we'll go to Palm Springs. So we stopped off at Big Five, and I ran in. We ran in, couldn't find what we needed, but my daughter found stuff that she needed. So we got her stuff, and then we decided to go try Las Palmas Mexican cuisine, and it was great. It was fantastic. It was in the building of the old La Casita Nueva, and the La Casita Nueva moved across the highway and became La Casita Azul, and they left their building, and Las Palmas moved from a building on the other end of town over to this one, so now they're more centrally located, which is great because they're closer to us. So we gave it a shot. My daughter had eaten there before when it was at the other building, and she said that it was good. I said, did you have beans? How were the beans? She said, they were okay. And I said, that wasn't promising, but it was good. The beans were good. Chips and salsa on the table. Drinks and chips and salsa right away. That's always nice. Hey, good morning, Joey. What's up? Yeah, any good Mexican restaurants down there? They're probably Cuban restaurants, right? Totally. So, I'll show you, but you can't tell anybody. I'm gonna show you my daughter's gift. I know I promised I wasn't going to buy any gifts, right? But I got this great Pierce the Veil picture disc. And I got it because I really dig this artwork on the other side. It's really great artwork. Really cool stuff. Really. So I picked this up for her. Yeah, pretty neat. I like it. I like the artwork. So I'll stash this over here in my little, my area. There we go. Yeah, we got home late last night. Man, I wasn't in bed until after 10. I'm sitting here just trying to get at least something saved, right? Because I lost all that time leaving the house. So I didn't get everything uploaded last night to stay on schedule, which means I really gotta bust it next week because I'm gonna lose Saturday too. So I'm sitting here last night at about 10 o'clock, and I'm just trying to shut stuff down and so I can go to bed. And my wife says, "Hey, you want to watch an episode of Columbo?" And I'm thinking, 75 minutes of Columbo? I expect to be looking at my eyelids by then. And, of course, within a half an hour, we were in bed and she was out. But, yeah, I stared at my eyelids for a little while, listening to the Chemical Romance. See, there you go. Oh! Yeah, buddy. See, if I would pay attention and read, I knew it was My Chemical Romance last night when I got it, but somehow this morning it turned into Pierce the Veil. Yeah. But still, it's still a neat picture disc, so that's pretty cool. Thank you for the correction there, boss. That's why I need you young guys around. They keep me focused, eh? Focused, oh yeah. Oh yeah. So, let me show you my stool, cane stool, my cane, seat cane thingy. Let me go grab it here. So I got it in the golf section because it is a golf accessory, so that when you're out there playing golf, you can sit down. But it says to use it on a smooth, hard surface, and that ain't a golf course. So I'm not quite sure exactly what they mean by that. But here it is. That's it. That's all it is. It just opens up and becomes a little stool. And then that's it. That's all there is to it. You can buy a pad and a strap for it. But I think I'm going to have my wife make me a pad, a little seat cushion. She just picked up a bunch of different weird material the other day. So we'll see what she can come up with. Some kind of padding. Just to make it. I don't expect to use it a whole lot, but then again, that means I probably will. I'll probably be sitting on it a lot on Saturday. If Saturday goes well, then we will go out Monday and go to L.A. And at 7 o'clock, there's an event where the Pete Wentz they have a production company, and he's going to have a bunch of his bands there performing. So that should be, and I think he's going to do some DJ stuff, maybe. So that should be fun. Hey, what do? You gotta do what you gotta do. And what I gotta do is I gotta go to shows. Man, I wish I was physically more able. It is what it is, you know. Like at the mall, I walked through like two or three stores, and it was like, okay, that's it. It was Dick's Sporting Goods, Hot Topic, and Barnes and Noble. After that, they wanted to go into a store and try on clothes, and I'm like, okay. I left them at Hot Topic. Yeah, actually, no, by this time they were looking for Christmas presents, right? For my daughter's doing presents for friends, which is really cool. So, actually, I left them trying on clothes when I went over to Barnes & Noble. And then after Barnes & Noble, we went to Hot Topic. I decided I wasn't going to be buying anything, so I just said, I'm out. You didn't need to see that. Yeah. I popped. So it was really funny. We went to this new Mexican restaurant, and I got the same thing. Listening for dogs. I always get the build your own combination plate, where you can pick 1, 2, or 3 items, and then beans and rice. Alright, I gotta go check on a dog situation. I think I hear footsteps, but I don't know. But I'll be right back. No, really. I am back, baby. Yeah, I have no idea what we're really doing Saturday. I know that my daughter bought a tennis racket. She insists that she's going to start playing tennis again, too, which is fantastic. I wish I could join her. I may try. I'll probably be out there a little bit. So she got a tennis racket for Saturday because she's going to go, I guess, play tennis with Pete Wentz. So that's cool. I said, if I'm signed up to play and I don't want to play, can I just get a photograph with him? She's like, I don't know. Because that's my shtick, that's my bag. I'm hoping that the three of us can get a photograph with Pete Wentz and I can stick it on my wall. I was just thinking I've got to get more photos printed out than I thought. Yeah. Pretty damn cool. I'm going to put dogs away. I'll be right back. So, of course, when we had dinner last night at Las Palmas, I had only eaten breakfast and then taken a nap. So, I only ate one of my 2 tamales and half of the beans and rice and saved it. And I thought, all right, well, I'm going to have this like tomorrow, right? Like right after the show before I go clean a house. And I'm sitting in the car last night waiting for them to come out, listening to some radio shows, which was pretty cool. And I started getting hungry. And I'm thinking, well, God, I don't want to go home and eat this stuff because then what am I going to eat tomorrow morning? And so we had to stop by the store on the way home. So we stopped by Stater Brothers and picked up, milk, eggs, butter, the usual stuff, and tried to grab a couple of things to like do a meal. And we decided that we were just going to pull a roast out of the freezer. And we had potatoes, carrots, gravy, corn. So all we have to do is pull the roast out of the freezer and we got dinner. So I'm like, okay, well, let's pull it out when we get home. And then it'll thaw out overnight. And then we can have a roast on Friday. So that's what we're doing for dinner tonight. But last night, I was like, I couldn't find anything at the store that I wanted to bring home and eat. And I was like frustrated. But by the time I got home, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to have a big bowl of Cheerios and go to sleep. And I did. I put a big glass of milk in the freezer to get cold. And I came in here and I finished up some things. And then I had a bowl of cereal sitting here, fiddling around in phone land, and then shut her down. I shut her down. I went to bed. Couldn't take it. I wish I could have slept more last night. I only got about 2.5, 3 hours sleep. I know I got into bed at 10. I was still up at 11. I got up 3 times to take a leak. The last time I got up was at a 3:15, and I've been awake ever since. I flopped around for an hour in bed, waiting for the alarm, and then hitting the snooze button a couple of times. I just couldn't take it anymore. I had to get up. But I need to have some better hours for Saturday. Saturday's a daytime thing, which means I have to get to sleep ultra early tonight, because I'm going to have to, it's a possibility that I'm going to have to get up and leave town really early tomorrow morning. She's going to find out the particulars today on what's going on. So there you are. Excited about that. I have to listen for a big face to bark to come in. She gives me a boo, just kind of a low boo, boo. She She doesn't outright bark. She just gives me a boo. If you leave her in the room and you don't hear her tapping at the door to come out in the middle of the morning or at night while you're sleeping, she'll boo. And if I'm in here and she's trying to boo me and Mom's in there with her sleeping, oh, that's horrible. Or middle of the night or middle of the morning, the dogs hear something outside and just, they wake up barking, but they wake up like screaming barking. Ugh. It's deadly. I'm going to have to get up anyway to heat my coffee, so I'm just kind of waiting to see what she gives me. Is she going to give me a what? So, I may wake my daughter up early after the show. Especially if it looks like we're going to be doing an early day tomorrow. I'd like us to be on the same schedule. So if she can get up early today and then we go to sleep early tonight, we'll have some great energy for tomorrow. Just the drive alone to Encino and back is going to be like 6 hours. So it's not the time in the car or the driving, or especially it's not being with my daughter. I mean, that's the best part about it. The thing about it is the pain involved with all of the head and neck movements and the back and shoulder and arm movements. Yeah, that just causes a lot of pain. So, recovering from this Sunday is going to be a kind of a drag, because I'm going to be tired and in a lot of pain. But I'm going to have to really take it easy on Sunday. Thankfully, I don't think we have... No, I think we do have houses to clean on Sunday. There's nothing on Saturday to clean. But I'm going to really have to take it easy on Sunday so that I can try to get up and do this again on Monday. Monday's different. Monday is going to be a nighttime thing, which means I will get up in the morning, do my show here, and go back to sleep, and sleep till about 4. Get up, have a shower, and leave here by 5, and then drive out to L.A. Well, probably get up at 3 and leave by 4 and try to get out there an hour early. But that's that. So at this point, I'm resigned to I'm telling my daughter, I don't know if I can do it, but I've resigned myself to the fact that we're doing it. We're just going to do it. I don't get many opportunities to do this with my daughter because of school. Well, actually, because of school, she's had so many opportunities now to do concerts. She's a very wise person when it comes to money, so she's really packed a lot of savings away with this financial aid, mainly because I told her, look, you never know what's going to happen with the schooling, and when you get to a point to where you can't get financial aid anymore, you may want to spend some of your money to pay for some units and get your stuff done. And I said, so have that. And then when you're done, at some point, you might want to buy a car. You might want to do this or that. So, but like her mother, she can really salt it away. So, but it's the school has been what has afforded her the opportunity to go to all these concerts and stuff. So that's pretty cool. And of course she's got to drag me along because I'm the ride. But that just makes it all the better for me, because now we have those opportunities to just hang out and do stuff that she wants to do. Not stuff that I want to do that I got to drag her along, but stuff that she wants to do, And she got to drag me along. Totally. It's totally cool. It's totally different head. So we're going to be back out in L.A. Blah. And I need to send a message to my friend that I'm still available, and I will be available for music video work until the end of the month. I thought that it was going to be this Monday that stuff was going to happen, but I had to put it off because of my stupid cold. And it was a doozy, but like I said, I only allow it to stay with me for once I know that I'm sick, I give myself 3 days. That's it. And damn it if I wasn't over it in 3 days. The only thing that has held on has been a little bit of congestion and a little raspiness to my throat in the morning. And then occasionally I'll have a sneeze fest, but that's it. I can live with that. That's like nothing. That's like I'm cured except for, you know, a little wheeze here and there. That's it. But, you know, once I found out that your health is extremely psychological, I took charge of it, baby. Now, there are some aspects of my health, my brokenness, that I can't really do anything about because I'm broken. I am able to go out into the world and function in great pain and just kind of separate myself from it. And I'll walk around and act like I'm just a regular old guy, but then, you know, I'll turn a corner and then I'm hunched over in pain and walking slow and using a cane. And then, you know, it comes and goes because I don't like it around all the time. So sometimes I'll chase it away by acting normal. But there's nothing normal about it. Nothing at all. Because I feel every single movement that I make. Oh, there she is. There's the buffer. All right. Coffee and the nuker. Open the door for the buffer. got a dog water situation. Everything's all right down here on Dog Water Patch. Dog water bottom. Yeah. Oh, my coffee. Damn. All right, I got to deal with dogs anyway. Hold on. This here's the story of Dog Water Holler. Oh. Ah, jeez. Where was I? Oh, Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy did not fucking care. What the fuck does it matter? I'll shave it, get a big 8-ball tattoo. What the fuck do I need hair for, says Fuzzy Wuzzy. Then he became a cop, and then he was Fuzzy Wuzzy the Fuzz. With a big 8-ball tattoo and a big handlebar mustache. It sounds like one of the Village People. Yeah. The motorcycle cop. Of course, you gotta wear a wig during the day. Because that 8-ball is unacceptable. The chief will have none of it. Totally. Down at Dog Water Holler. I just don't know how they bloody do it, you know? A Troy and a Troy. And all I get is a headache. All I get is a headache. A haddock? It's not a fish? I got me a haddock. Yeah, I got me a fish. Fish and chips, anyone? Bob's your uncle. Wow. So my ultimate goal for today is to go to sleep really early. Dog's asleep. It's time to do a bong hit.
You think?
Yeah. Because, you know, I got nothing else going on right now. I've got 4 educational films to upload. No, 3. I'm sorry, 3. That's it. Which is great because I think I can do that. And by tonight, get a good chunk of the radio shows uploaded for the following week, which is like where am I at? I'm on the 13th through the 17th of January. So the 20th of January. Yeah, to the 24th. So I'm rocking. So I'm going to be working on the week of the 20th here by the end of today, by this evening. I've also got to get a weekly program guide done today because I won't have time to do it tonight because I'm going to go to sleep early. I won't have time to do it tomorrow because I'm leaving town. And I probably won't have time to do it Sunday because we're doing some house cleaning and I'm just going to be destroyed. I'll be lucky to get anything uploaded this weekend, really. So I'm going to lose another week this weekend. I'll get half of a week done today and finish that week up on Monday, but I'm going to lose 2 days of production, so I'm going to lose about a week's worth of work. Yeah. Totally. 2 days cost me a week. At some point, I'm going to do my checks and make it easier for me to upload as much as I fucking want. And that might happen today if I wind up getting my daughter up early and I can get her out here to play. There's a few things we have to do, so we need to take the time to do it. Totally. Totally. So let's see. I think we're going to wait till the last hour again of the show, if we have time, and take a look back at some more of Season 1 of Warnings. I think we're on episode 4. But right now, I need this. I need my quality me time. Yeah. I am really going to need some big-time energy this weekend. Really going to need it. It's times like this, I wish I still did cocaine. Hey, let's go. Let's go. I'm fine now. Let's go. You know, that'd be, yeah. But it's only been 30 some odd years since I even last thought about doing cocaine. It was literally the early 90s, 90, probably 90, maybe 91. I think was probably the last time that I did cocaine. Yeah, 90, 91. Something like that. And I think it was because my friend brought some over and we went and just drove around and got all coked up in the mountains. Or I went to someone's house and did some work and wound up with a bag of coke for payment. And I just did it all in my head, you know. I do a little bit now, a little bit later, and a little bit more later, a little bit more now, a little bit more later, and a little bit more now. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was like I began to just leave all of that shit behind. I left speed behind in like the late 80s. I just was watching everybody just get fucked over and waste away and fuck each other over and dying and winding up in prison or in rehab or, you know, wherever you go when that shit takes you. And it just took me out of the picture. I just said, you know what, I'm gone. I don't like that stuff, you know. So cocaine was easier to get away from than speed. Speed was everywhere. Everybody was doing it, you know. And it's not that I was tempted, because I wasn't. I just didn't enjoy it. But I just hated to see people on it, you know. So I just kind of evaporated and left. And then I drifted and see what was going on, and everybody's still on it, and I'd be out of there. And it was for like 10 years, from like 90 to 99. I kept trying to come back and see what was fucking going on, and everybody was just still doing the shit. Everybody was still on fucking speed. Yeah, I mean, I stopped doing everything, even pot. No mushrooms, no acid, no nothing. I was, you know, I do a little drinking and a lot of smoking cigarettes, and that didn't do anything for me. It got to where I was drinking myself to sleep, you know, which was about 3 beers. I'd slam 3 beers, and then, you know, of course, I'd be up in the middle of the night pissing all night. But I finally switched back after I got off depression medicine and got a neck injury and decided I'm going back full time. Fuck it. Fuck everything else. I'm just going to smoke pot. And that's what I did. And I enjoy smoking pot. It's killing me, but at least I'm enjoying the ride. At least I'm enjoying the ride. I wanted to go by Guitar Center last night and drool over some guitars and kind of see what was what, right? Yeah. Because a nice electric guitar, you know, something that's really got some smooth action on it. Nothing too expensive, you know. And then I think I want to take an old acoustic guitar and get a pickup for it and turn it into an electric slide and fiddle around with that too. Because that, you know, I know at some point I'm going to shift back and get back into the creative music, you know, thing where all I can do is think about music or a specific song and I got to get it right. So I know eventually I'm going to swing back that way. So I'd like to be kind of ready for it. The way I've got my little booth, my little studio here set up is I can swing this chair around and face this way and put a keyboard right here and play with a keyboard. Or I can plug in an amp that's down here and play with a guitar right here. I can set up a drum kit out in my laundry room, provided I clean the floor of all the stuff that's there. But there's enough room to do that. So, plus all of the other instruments that I've got just lying around in case I feel the urge to be the pretender that I am and pick something up and learn a song, you know. And if I had not been tormented my entire life with depression, I probably would have learned how to play an instrument or 12 by now. But, you know, there's that old cliche that, you know, you just can't find joy in the things that you love to do. And that's the way it is. And so I you know, I got all these things that I enjoy, I love to do, but I just, you know, you're just not in the place, you know, that allows you to enjoy it. And I've been there for quite a while. As much as I tried to convince myself that I haven't been there, I've been in that dark place for probably most of this year. I've just been pretending that I'm not. But because the music is there, and the music hasn't been there in like 6 months, I can totally tell, or longer, I can totally tell that I haven't been right. When the music's there, I know I'm right. When I got a guitar in my hand, or I'm constantly singing, then I know it's right. But when my guitar's got, you know, an inch of dust on it, things ain't right. And I'm not going to fight it. I'm not going to force myself to pick up the guitar and play when I know it's just not there. So that sucks. But I'm getting there. I'm starting to feel like I need to be there again. And that's the first step. Admitting you have a problem, that's the first step. My problem is I'm fucking depressed, man. Yeah, it's the anniversary of my friend fucking me over and running off. And that's probably why I'm really starting to be low. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to even do this. So I got to figure out a way to snap out of it. There, I'm out of it. Ta-da! That's it. Now he's just pretending again. So, oh look, there's a bong hit already packed already. Who'da thunk? Thank you. Whoever did that for me, thank you. I appreciate it. Who knew that I needed a bong hit? Yep. So I'm recovering from the mall, sitting in that car, waiting for my family to come out, and I'm chatting with Joey on a text, and he sends me a picture of all of these what is it, like 11? My wife and daughter were both trying to count all of the little plushies that you got with the claw machine, right? Who knew that he was a savant on the claw machine, right? The guy's a freaking genius. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So they're like, oh, so when he comes back, we're going to take him to the mall. You blew it. Oh, man. They're going to have you emptying machines all over town. Here's some more money. Come on. Give me all these dolls. Oh, that would be funny, though. Because some of those machines down here have got some pretty righteous stuff in them, you know. Like over at, it's one of those parks that you go to, and it's like a little amusement park, and it's got the go-karts that you can rent and drive around, batting cages, and yeah, Hootie and the Blowfish. It's like one of those weird names, Hootie Town, Boogerville or something. Bernie and Casey's. But the machines down there, I mean, a lot of those weird machines, they've got like iPhones and, you know, Nintendo Switch and all kinds of weird gadgets and gizmos in there that you got to try to push off a shelf or do something. You'd probably be pretty good at those things, huh? Me? No. No, I'm just throwing money away when I do that shit. I'm pretty much throwing the money away no matter what I'm doing with money. So I don't care to. That's when you start to mess. Yeah, it's like, all right, here's a bunch of money. We'll see you in 15 minutes. Yeah, I'm totally the same way. As soon as I'm confident that I can do something, I'm like, hey, check this out. Watch me fuck up 80 times. Yep, I hear you. I hear you. Totally. Definitely 382 plushies. Definitely. Oh, man. Totally. God, I just... so little sleep lately. I feel like I just want to crawl right back into bed. Yeah. Totally. I don't know, if my wife is still asleep at 8 o'clock, I put something on here to start uploading and just... I'm pretty good. I'm pretty far ahead on creating videos to upload. The only thing that I'm not caught up on being ahead on is creating movies, educational films to upload. Finding them, bringing that file, turning it into a video file, and then uploading that. So you have to edit a bunch of crap out sometimes. But yeah, I'm over a month ahead now on uploads. And I'm getting pretty good at doing that. And I'm over, I don't know, a few months ahead on creating the actual radio shows and educational films to upload. So I'm pretty sure that once I'm 2 months out from live, that I can go 3 weeks without worrying about the channel, except for a video time machine and a weekly program guide once a week. And then I can after that, spend 1 week to upload enough programming for another month. And then, use 3 weeks. By the time I get to the end of that month, I've replaced that month. And I think if I keep leapfrogging it like that, I can give myself 3 weeks of mostly me time to work on stuff. original stuff. But I've got to have my center. I've got to have my chi, my feng shui. Everything has got to be in the groove in order for me to feel comfortable starting a big project, right? Now I've undertaken this music video, and I'm hoping to get in contact with him and let him know that I've got some things going on, but my time is pretty much open right now until the end of the month. And if I can just get him over here for another day to at least bring me what video he has, and then maybe shoot a couple of things. Right? Totally. Then I should have enough stuff to make a music video that has no tie-in to the music other than the music playing in the background, and maybe mouth a couple of words listening to it in the car. But that's about it. I don't think we want to get any more complicated than that right now. I think we need to just focus on creating an entertaining video that works with the music while we're trying to build on ideas for upcoming videos, right? And that way we've got something going on. We get used to the production aspect of the music video. Pre-production, production, post-production, figure out how we work it best together, and then just kind of let it evolve naturally, so that you'll see that this is the first, this is the second, this is the third, and it'll almost tell a story in how they're presented. Huh? Yeah. I gotta heat this up again. It gets cold so quick. All right, be right back. Whoa. Totally, man. Oh my God. Yeah, totally. I think the best thing that I would want for the rest of my life would be no drama. To keep it low drama, just low drama, no drama. No bullshit, no high emotion situations, no ups and downs, no crazy shit, just nice, mellow, keep it on an even keel. Where you going, big dog? More water? More water. Yeah. My life is shelves and piles of stuff, bags of things, boxes of things. That's pretty much my life is clutter. The clutter inside my brain has extended out into the world finally, and I am surrounded by clutter. You know, I've got so many things in my brain that I cannot get rid of. And now it is, my physical world is that now. Just cluttered. Do you want to get up here? You want to get up over here and sit here with me? You can get up here. Come on. You want to sit here? Come on. It's my hat. See? See? It's my hat. See? Come on, Bessie. You can go to bed. Get on the couch. What do you want to do? She don't know. She's like, I'm so confused. I'm so confused. All right. If you're confused, I'm confused. All right. Let's be confused together. Come on. Come on. Come on. It's kind of warm in here. I got the heater on. It's been on high forever. What are you gonna do, huh? What are you gonna do? Just stare at me? If you just want to stare at me? Okay, we'll stare at each other. Huh? How are you? Hi, Bessie. She's like, you're mocking me now. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Come on, Bessie. You want to go outside? You want to go outside? You don't want to go outside. You want to go to bed? You want food? Some more water? You want to give me the weird face? What do you want? You want to go outside? You got to give me some direction, dog. A blank stare, an occasional blink doesn't do it. Want to go to your bed? Want to go to your bed? No? This dog. Any other dog I can read. And she's a sphinx. Most dogs wear their emotions on their sleeve, you know. And their thoughts, like, here's what I'm thinking. And she just... Let me get up and walk around and see if that helps. I'll be right back. All right, what is it? Where do you want to go? You want to go outside? You want food? You want water? What do you want? This chair. Will you come sit in this chair? Bessie? I like it. Come here. Come on. Come on. Over here. Come on. Come on, Bessie. Come on. I'll cover you up. Come on. Come on. Come on, Bessie. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let's go. You got to do something. Come on, let's go. No? You want to get on the couch? Come on, get on the couch. Come here. Come on. Get on the couch, come on. Nice and cozy. You look more comfortable than I do. Is that better? Is that better? Okay. I think that's gonna do it. What an unusual dog. She had to go all the way to the other side of the house to tell me she wants to get up on the couch. And now she's out. Yep, she's out. Forehead all wrinkled up. So today is Friday. Leaving town tomorrow morning. Yeppers. Well, I ain't been out of town in a little while, so that's cool. That's fun. Yesterday into Palm Springs was kind of a warm-up for that. And maybe I'll see if I can get my wife today to help me make a cushion for my cane so that the seat is padded, and maybe I'll figure out a way to put a strap on it or strap it to my over-the-shoulder bag that I wear, which is just a fanny pack that I put on over my shoulder so that the bag is right here. Just makes it easy to get into. Just open it up, I can look into it. But I'm going to get a different one that's actually designed for that. But for right now, that works. So, just something to hook it onto that strap, so that I can use my other cane. More than likely, I'll just take both canes and then use the stool cane when we go into the event, figuring that I'm going to have to sit down more than I'm going to be standing. Or at least I'll be trying to sit down more than I'll be out moving around. Lines are a lot of standing and waiting, and then shuffling along, and then standing and waiting, and then shuffling along. And to have the opportunity to sit down once in a while is all I require, because I'm always looking for a place to sit down when I'm out lately, and that's kind of a drag, a few hundred yards, and there's a bench. There just ain't enough meat on this old skeleton anymore. We just all age differently. That's it. I figured that out. We're just all on a different clock. Yep. We're all on a different clock. I got limited clock left, so I'm just going to try to rock the clock. That's it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to try to do it like I do and just get it done. Absolutely. Aww, isn't that cute? Sorry, I was thinking, and I thought, gosh, that's cute. Look at him, he thinks. He thinks he's thinking. Isn't that cute? Yeah, not enough sleep lately. I may have to go lay down. Still uncomfortable, huh, big dog? Hi there. Good girl, you're okay, good girl. She's gonna bump my camera. Good girl. Did you figure it out? She used to stop looking at me, going in circles, walking back and forth, trying to get comfortable. There you go. Big face. Always distracted by the dogs. My main distraction. I was just thinking I gotta do doggy doors, but my schedule ain't looking good to do doggy doors at any time this weekend. This event that we're going to tomorrow popped up just like a week ago. She's like, there's this thing happening and I want to go. And the first thing I'm, in my day, I would throw something out there like that, and I would get the, yeah, right, like that's ever going to happen. Literally, that would be the first response. Like, there ain't no way that's going to happen. And on occasion, very few occasions, as I got older, and I think my father was seeking friendship, I would on occasion ask for something like that. Hey, could you take us to a concert? And he would actually be cool about it, right? But so when my daughter comes to me and says, hey, I want to go to, this thing that just came about, my first response is, yeah, whatever we can do to make it happen, and let her know right away, okay, well, just know full well that I'm in crappy condition, first of all. And you're going to have to put up with that. And I'm low budget, no budget guy. So, if you got the budget for it, then there you go. And that's it. And I think that's the best way that I can show responsibility to her, or show her how to show responsibility, is, if you want this, you're going to have to pay for it. Plain and simple. I'll be the free taxi driver guy that goes along and does whatever you want. On occasion, you can take me with you to do these things if you got nobody else to go with you and you want somebody to go in with you. I'm totally cool with that. I'm totally cool with just going along and being the driver and then finding something to do for a few hours. But she has to know that there, the responsible side is, if she wants it, she's got to pay for it. That's it. And because she's paid for it through her schoolwork, she has the ability to go out into the world and get what she wants. And she's learning a really valuable lesson that she wasn't able to even get a nibble on during the last couple of years of high school because of the stay at home and work thing. So, yeah. But it's like right out of that. She was off on her first concert. And she ain't looked back since. And it's pretty cool. Pretty dang cool. Dang cool. Psst. Foot liquor. Psst. Shh. Close your eyes. Oh, there you go. There you are. Well. All is quiet. Dogs are asleep, except Rocket Man's heater just turned on over there. Oh, man. All right, well, I'm hoping that we can... I'm pretty sure if we bring in all of the stuff for the tree and get it started, my wife can finish it tomorrow while we're gone, I guess. I bet she'll start working on quilting. She was thinking about making some quilted pillows because she wants to see if she can handle making a quilted blanket. And I said, you know, my advice was to start off easy. Start off with a simple checkered pattern with some nice material, and learn the process, you know, as easy as possible. And then from there, learn some new techniques. So she thought, okay, well, why don't I make some small quilted squares. She'll take some patterns and start off and go out from a small thing and make some patterns out until she's got a pretty decent sized square, and then take that and turn that into one side of a pillow and make, or both sides of a pillow, make some quilted pillows, some throw pillows first, and then come up with a little small throw blanket and just kind of work up to something big. And what's neat is when you take and you combine stitching. When you stitch onto fabric, what is that called? Crochet? Is that what that is? Crochet, macrame, or no, it's crochet, I think. When you stitch a design onto a piece of fabric, right? And I think when you combine quilting with creating squares of specific designs is when you can then get into telling your family's history through a quilted blanket, right? And you can have dates woven in. You can do line drawings of faces with stitching, and do faces and places and animals and different stuff on different squares, and have other squares just have a pattern that kind of frames the different pictures. And I think it would be really neat if she and I could get together and design and create some kind of family quilt. That would be fun. You know, something to kind of pass down, because that shit doesn't happen anymore, you know. And I like those old traditions, not the traditions where you're doing something every day, but you don't know why you're doing that. It's just something we do every day because we've been doing it for 100 years. Our family's been doing this every day, so every day we keep doing it. That I don't get. doing something, a tradition that's a cultural tradition. I think that's a little different. Anyway, quilt. It's a lot of hard work, especially when you get to the end. And she's like, I'm going to need a big table for something like that. And that's when I'm like, all right, well, start off small, learn on a small scale, make small scale quilted stuff, and see if you even want to get into making a big blanket. She may decide, fuck it. So, but I asked her to make me a hat yesterday for, as a gift for someone. And I said, what would be neat is if you could make me just a plain pullover ski cap, a woman's hat, right? And put some kind of like decorated flower that's kind of a part of the whole hat. It's just kind of woven into it, so that it's just kind of like three-dimensional, right? Like it's embossed right there. And that's exactly what she did. And I went and I took a nap, and I got up a couple hours later, and she had done it. She had made it and finished it, right? So I know that whatever she sets her mind to, she's capable of finishing, which this guy isn't always that. But yeah, that's why I'm anxious to get a musical instrument in her hands. Oh, when we're at Barnes & Noble, and we just kind of wander off together and start looking at books. And she's in the Espanol section. All of a sudden, we're in the Espanol books. And I said, are you going to get a book? And she said, I don't know about, I don't know for books, what to get, what to read, and that kind of crap. Every once in a while, I'll see her reading a book, but it's usually a how-to book. So I'm thinking, I'm looking around, and all of a sudden, I see El Padrino by Mario Puzo. And I'm thinking, Mario Padrino, hey, that's The Godfather. And I say, hey, check this out. And it's in Espanol. And here's a book for you. ¿Tú sabes? Sí. Yo comprendo, dude. Totally. Yo hablo español poquito. Tengo poco español, bro. Oh my God, he's like speaking Spanish, like you learned it in high school. I did not. 10 years ago, I took a semester of Spanish in college. And I've been married to a Mexican woman for 25 years. On the 17th. In fact, I've got to check to make sure that I've got a reminder to remind me. Oh, look, by the way, I did spruce up yesterday. Took a shower and got out of the shower and did the whole blow dry thing and went, oh my God. So I took the scissors to my face, which I'll probably do again tomorrow a little bit before we leave. After I get up in the evening and have a shower and we take off, I'll probably give it a couple of more snips to straighten things up a little bit. Just to check it out. But, yeah, I thought, what the hell? It looked presentable for the holiday. And going out with my daughter to do this event thing, and I will probably have to get up close and personal with people. So there you go. And it's a good thing that I got sick and postponed my teeth because I would not be available for this. I just would not. I wouldn't be leaving the house. And Mom would be like, I don't want to drive her all the way out there. I don't know where I'm going. And her friends are either busy or uninterested. So it's really cool that I'm actually available for this. So I'm going to try like hell to do both days with her. I mean, she did get the Big Sandy tickets for us. So, and she's the best kid in the world. So that's the least I could do is, you know, try to be a cool dad. Any other person would be like, oh my God, would you just get your license already and take yourself? And it's like, no, that's not what I want to do. I want her to get her license when she feels comfortable getting a license. Start driving when she feels comfortable driving, you know, where she wants to drive. Now, just let it happen. Let it happen organically. When she feels comfortable with it, she'll get into it. Otherwise, I'm here to do that. Mom's here to do that. She's got friends. You know, she'll get around to it. Or not. Maybe she'll never drive. Maybe it's, you know, and that's not a big thing. It's not a big fucking deal. You don't have to drive. You know, there's other ways to get around. So, you know, marry somebody that likes to drive. Oh, yeah. There you go. When we got married, my wife wasn't driving. She didn't drive for the first year or two of our marriage. She didn't drive. She got her license during the first year or two of our marriage, but she didn't drive at first. It wasn't until we moved to northern Nevada that she drove a lot, because we had a pickup truck that was an automatic, and she drove that a lot. I was at work a lot in the company vehicle, so I didn't need to take our vehicle to work. I left it with Mom so she could do Mom stuff with the kid. But yeah, she didn't drive for the first couple of years of our marriage, not until she was almost 30. You know, not a big deal. And now she's a great driver. She's an excellent driver. I always, before I drive or when I'm driving, I always think, man, I'm not a great driver, right? Until I get behind the wheel, and then I realize I'm a pretty good driver, you know. Mainly because I enjoy it and I pay attention. You know, that's the key, is to just pay attention. Just be aware of what the fuck's going on around you at all times, as much as you can. Nobody's perfect, but if you stay focused, you know, and find a way to enjoy it. Especially if you don't enjoy it, find a way to enjoy it. Find something about driving that you can enjoy, or find something in the driving in the car that you can enjoy. Music, audiobooks, radio shows, something. One of those sinus attacks that happen. Only happen when you're like sick or getting over being sick or something, and every once in a while everything goes. Yeah. But I'm better. I'm fine. That's messed up, man. Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Totally. turn down my heater a little bit. Yeah. I don't know, man. I just totally don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. I try and I try and I try, and then I realize that I'm just trying to pretend, trying to hide, right? I'm not really here. This is all an illusion. I'm really still stuck up in here. And this is all robotic. This is all yeah, automatic. This is all just automatic. I get up in the morning and push buttons, and then I push a button on myself, and then here I am. Well, we've got a bunch of messages here real quick. Florida has the worst drivers. Oh, you think? Well, they've been saying that for like 80 years, man. It's because it's all old people out there. They should have had their licenses yanked years ago, but they own the politics there, so they own the law, so they can drive until they're fucking deaf, dumb, and blind, really. No one uses turn signals ever. Or if the turn signal is on, it's been on for 8 miles, right? It's been on since they got out in their car and turned it to get out onto the street, and then it's just on ever since. 4 car accidents when we got there. Yeah, of course. Of course. And I bet they were all old people yelling at each other. Why, I ought to just I'll beat you with my cane, you son of a bitch. Well, fuck you, you bastard. You old son of fuck you. You calling old, you piece of shit, you old bastard. Yep. Good old Flow Rider. Most of the population is old people. Everybody else, the other population, are the people taking care of the old people. Or the amusements. I'm sorry. Right? There's 3 in there. There's the old people. There's the tourists. And then there's the people taking care of all of that. That's what it is. That's what it is. Voting is big over there, which is why they get whatever they want, because old people love to vote. So, the blue hair group. Yep. Watch out for them blue hairs. Blue rabbits. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. It was actually Hispanics. Oh. Los Cubanos. Sí, los Cubanos. Yeah, you never know. Those darn Hispanics. Man. Did they pull guns on each other, Holmes? Orale. Did they have big bandanas? And have their flannels buttoned just one at the top? Orale, I say. ¿Cómo le va? Orale, cabrón. Simón carnal. Yeah, I went to school with guys who dress like that, talk like that. I'll fuck you up, Holmes. You want to buy a shirt stick, Holmes? Totally. I just wanted them to invite me to dinner. That's all. That's it. That's all. I just want some good food. Because Lord knows I wasn't getting none at home. I was getting crap at home. That's a hard thing to escape, you know. The diet that is formed when you're young sometimes just continues on the rest of your life. You just eat the same crap the rest of your life. You never really expand on it. I know people like that, you know. I grew up with people who refused to eat anything but the same crap that they grew up on, right? You take them out to eat and they order the same crap that they would normally, or they want to try any different. No, I can't eat that. That's too, no, that's different. You know, Lord knows you couldn't take some people out to try anything new. Let's get some Vietnamese food tonight. What? Oh, no, I'll never. Oh, I won't. No. Chinese food, sushi. Oh, no, sushi. Oh, I could never eat sushi. Oh, no, yuck. Have you ever? No, I would never. No. But you haven't? No, I would never. You want to try? No, I would never. You might as well just, pull the trigger. Jeez, what's the point? That's living, boy. You're just sitting home and have your, macaroni and cheese and fish sticks every fucking night or whatever it is. Yeah, it's Tuesday night. It's fish stick night. Well, geez, what's tomorrow? No, tomorrow's meatloaf. Wow. So if you take them out, they're like, well, does the restaurant serve Thursday night? It's Thursday night. Do they serve meatloaf? I guess. Oh, I gotta find out. I got a meatloaf tonight. What are you, fucking Rain Man? Definitely gonna have meatloaf. Thursday, gonna have meatloaf tonight. Definitely meatloaf. Fucking kooks. I'm like, I don't want to have the same meal ever again for the rest of my life, I feel like, Why can't I just have something different every night for the rest of my life? And not repeat the same meal twice. That would be great. There's a bucket list item there. Give me a chef. I need my own chef. Damn it, where's the lottery? Where's my lottery ticket? It's Friday night. That means it's Taco Tuesday. You got it. It's always Taco Tuesday in my house. My goodness. Anytime. Like, I had tacos for breakfast yesterday. No. I did not. I was going to have tacos for breakfast. But it was like there was 2 corn tortillas, and I'm like, all right, fuck that. So I took the longanisa and potatoes, and I had it with an egg over easy and buttered toast, like corned beef and hash. So I just had it like that, and it was actually really good. But yeah, I mean, I will literally have tacos at least once a week. My wife has tacos probably, almost every night, almost every day. Tacos with eggs for breakfast. So yeah, tacos are big. Tacos. All up and down the highway here, there's places to get tacos. Everywhere you go here in Southern California, there's a place to get tacos. Different tacos. Tacos. When we went out and had Mexican food last night, my daughter had the chicken quesadilla, and she said it was great. It was shredded chicken, just loaded with shredded chicken and cheese. My wife had the special, which was chicken enchilada, mole chicken enchiladas. So she had that, Michoacan mole. And then I had, of course, the combo platter with 2 tamales, shredded beef tamales, red sauce. Really, really good. It was different than the place across the street. So that's great. But I think next time I want to try something different. We've got a lot of different ethnic restaurants here in town, and I think I want to give some others a try. some Vietnamese food, some Korean food, some Indian food, whatever we can come up with. My wife we're picking up bacon last night, because you gotta have bacon in the house. So we're picking up some bacon and eggs and stuff. And she's standing there, she goes, "What the hell is that?" Right? And it looks like longanisa, right? Which is kind of a Polish sausage type thing, Polska kielbaska, but it's just a casing filled with chopped up stuff, right? And so that's longanisa, and it's kind of like chorizo. And she says, "What's that?" right next to it, and they're a little bit longer and a little bit pinker, but it says Portuguese sausage. And I said, "It's just Mexican longanisa." And that's what it looked like. So we should try it. We should get one. Next time we get a longanisa instead, get one of those and cook it the same and see what happens. See what it's like. I said it's probably going to have a pretty different flavor. So why not? We don't know what to expect, so it could taste like anything. You know? Yeah, it tastes like liver and piss. Wouldn't that be kidneys? Yeah, I don't know. You ever had kidney pie? My father used to be big on kidney pie and liver and onions and oxtail soup and real weird shit that he ate when he was a kid, right? I'm like, dude, I can't even stand bologna. And you're giving me Braunschweiger, you know, liverwurst? There ain't enough mustard or pickles that could cover that shit up. I could stomach liver and onions with a lot of ketchup and mashed potatoes and gravy, but kidney pie was a little bit gamey, a little bit skanky, right? It just had a bad, and he'd make like it wasn't kidney pie, it was like kidney and rice and peas, and it was pretty basic, you know. But I mean, comes from my father's cook when he was a kid, was his stepmother, who would like make boiled cabbage, literally put in, here's a chunk of meat into a pot of water and boil it until it's just soup and then add cabbage to it. I mean, and she would take ground beef and she would boil ground beef and add cabbage and then throw in some rice or something, and that was food. He said it was just the greasiest, most god-awful thing in the world. But he would actually then make it for us, and why would you make this god-awful creation and torture us with that? It would be like forcing my daughter to eat bologna sandwiches. On occasion, I will get a pack of bologna and have like 2 sandwiches out of it at the most, just to psychologically remind myself that things have been much worse, because I've eaten bologna for an entire summer, right? Every meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner, bologna, 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 for an entire summer, because my father was in summer school and couldn't go to work and was living off of the financial aid and selling drugs, which put us parked in a van down by the beach for an entire summer. And he would go to school and try to sell some drugs to come home and bring us a pack of bologna and a pack of bread and maybe some mustard or mayo or something, and Kool-Aid to pour into a jug and make Kool-Aid from the faucet. I mean, and that was it. That was our diet for the entire summer, you know, which to me explains a lot about my poor health, because during my formative years, my nutrition was just horrible. But it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad for an entire summer, hoping that he was going to make enough to bring us home some Jack in the Box, because where are we going to cook living in a van down by the beach, right? Yeah. And it was torture to be there in that, day-use beach, that campground that we would stay at occasionally. Most of the times it was a parking lot at night and in the van. And then sometimes we would set up in a campground for a couple of days if we had the money. Or park at a day-use beach if we had the money. But it was torture with all of these people around who all had food, right? Everybody had food. It seemed like the whole world was eating around you, and they were eating anything but bologna sandwiches, all right? If I got invited over to somebody's camp, not that I did, but if I would ever have gotten invited over to anybody's camp to eat, they would have had bologna, I swear. It was horrible. An entire summer of mostly bologna sandwiches. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You get up, have a dry bologna and bread sandwich with what was left over from yesterday's unrefrigerated bologna and bread that had been in the van and sweaty. And my father would leave the van because he could not afford to drive it because of the gas. So most of the time he left the van. Sometimes on occasion he would take the van and leave us there with nothing. There was no refrigerator. There was no electricity. There was no cooler with ice in it. There was just a pack of bologna and a pack of bread sitting in the van. And it would only last a day, right? The big pound of bologna would last about a day. If there were enough slices, we would each get a sandwich for breakfast, a sandwich for lunch, and a sandwich for dinner. Me, my brother, and my father. My mother was living in Hollywood in a friend's apartment, going to work and eating regularly, with my sister living with her. My brother and I were men. had to tough it out on the beach. I hated it. I was miserable. I was fucking miserable. I had been really sick before, and I was hoping that I was just going to get sick and die. That's it. Just let me get sick and die. I'm over this. I'm so fucking over this. Instead, our dog got really sick and almost died. Distemper or parvo or something, right? And we're in a van on the beach. And the dog survived. I don't remember how. My father had been a veterinary assistant back in the early 70s, so he probably went and got some medication for it, brought it home and gave it a shot. And there were a few times when my sister was around with us on the beach, or my sister and mother were around with us living in the van down on the beach, but very seldom. Most of the time it was just me and my brother and my father. Because as much as they didn't want us to know, they were separated quite often before they were finally legally separated. And that's the way it was, And my sister went with my mother, and we went with my father, and we did stuff all over Southern California and Arizona, while my mother and my sister were in Hollywood for quite a few years. Until we finally got the house in Temecula, and then my mother was gone on the weekends and then around during the week. So she was around part-time. And my father was gone at school during the week and then gone out selling drugs in Hollywood on the weekends. So we were pretty much, my brother and I, in Temecula, my brother and sister and I were pretty much latchkey kids. We were pretty much free-range youths. So my sister and I, we just kind of hung around the house a lot and did house stuff around in the neighborhood there. My brother was all over the fucking place doing all kinds of shit. And on occasion I would go out and get into trouble with him. But it was kind of weird, you know, knowing that if something were to happen, your parents are like hours away, at best, you know. When we were living in Parker, Arizona, my father and my brother and I, and my father would be gone either in Indio, California, working at a radio station, or all the way in Hollywood with my mother and doing his stuff there. My brother and I would be that far removed from our parents for hours and days, right? Because my father would be going from here to there, and then back. And it would take him days to make that trip, right? And it's the middle of summer of 77. So, you know, there you go. We were really on our own. Very seldom was there anything in the fridge to eat. We relied on what friendships my brother could make, and then we would go over and hang out with people at lunchtime or at dinner time and get invited to eat. You know, and the kids would know that our parents are just fucking gone, just out flaking off, right? Earning a living, if that's what you call it. And we never went to school there in Parker. That never happened. We wound up moving to Fallbrook from there and spent a year going to school in Fallbrook, and then went back east and spent a summer back east before we came back and went to got into a house in Temecula that our grandmother got us, and we stayed there for a couple of years. Yep. But then, you know, my diet's never been good, so no matter where we lived, it was still a fucked up diet. But kidney beans maybe, but not kidney. Come on. Ugh. All right. In some cultures, I can say, yeah, okay. In some cultures, it's, you know, that's the way it is, you know. And I would totally understand if I went to a restaurant and they would say, do you want this? Well, what is that? That's kidney. No, I don't think so. You know, it's not to say that it's bad. It's just not for me. But, you know, come on. It's not part of our culture, Dad. And nobody in the family likes it, not even you, because you complain about having to eat it when you were a kid. So why would you? I don't see the logic. Your kids are malnourished, and you're going to make a dish that they won't eat. There you go. There you go. There's the logic. So yeah, when raising our daughter, my wife was pretty much would just do how she was raised. Every once in a while I'd go, what the hell are you thinking? And she, well, it's like, okay, well, that's a little weird. cultural differences and all. But for the most part, when I'm faced with making a decision on what to do, how to think, which way to go when dealing with our daughter, I would think to what my parents did, and of course do the exact opposite. And that has been my go-to answer for just about everything that I've had to make a decision on with our daughter. Even with going to higher education and college, right? And my question was, hey, I got accepted to a school. Can we make this happen? And he's like, no, ain't gonna happen. Why not? You went to school during most of my childhood. Why can't I go to school during my childhood? No. Can't afford it. We're like below the poverty line. How could we not afford financial aid, right? Didn't even want to broach the whole fucking issue, right? Just didn't want to go there. Like, one kid in the family wants to go to school, and you're like, no, ain't gonna happen. So, of course, when my daughter's like graduating high school, 2 years before high school was over, we're like, so thinking about college, huh? So that by the time she got done with high school, she was already accepted to a couple of universities. And she's like, no, I'm going to go to college. I'm going to do college first. Mainly because it's easier to get into the financial aid showing a record of, and the whole financial aid thing going from high school into a college, a big money college, is a lot of money, and she's going to have to do that on financial aid. And how do you do that? How does all that work? Figure it out in college. Figure all of this out in college. Figure out how to navigate the university through doing it in college, and then work your way up into it, so that by the time you're done, you got it all dialed in. Dialed in, baby. Well, it's 7 a.m., an hour left. I'm not quite sure what I want to do this morning here. I could go through some more footage of season 1. I'm out of coffee, so I'm kind of losing steam here. As I get quiet here, I was just going to say, I got a lot more to talk about, and then it gets deadly quiet. I think what I want to do is just keep smoking. Just keep smoking. Keep trying to get my toes warm here. They're pretty cold. I got pretty cold toes here right now. No socks on. Yippers. Totally, man. Crazy, totally awesome. Totally awesome. Yeah, right, it's totally awesome, man. Totally. Totally. Yeah, it is totally great, man. It's spectacular. It's totally awesome. It's spectacular. I'm from California. Hear me now, think about it later. I'm pumping you up, man. Hell no. Remember when Tommy Chong's daughter, Ray Dong Chong, was in that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Commando, right? Totally. She was actually in a lot of stuff back then. She was funny. She was good. Good. Ray Dawn Chong. Well, I'm gonna have to put on some pants today. That sucks. I hate putting on pants. Pajamas, yeah. Actually, it was cold last night. I slept in my pajamas. I couldn't sleep in a shirt, but I did sleep in my pajama bottoms because, well, I was just cold. I was just downright cold. So I did that. I slept in bed with my pajama bottoms on. Boy, just trying to warm up my feet and my hands. It's cold. It says it's 40 degrees and clear, but I think it's colder than that. It's got to be colder than that. It's colder than a witch's tit out there, which is pretty cold. Because them things is pointy. Woo, to put your eye out. You can take one of them witch's tits and put it down on a record and play a 38, 33, 78. Hut! Yeah. Ooh, there's some heat. Oh yeah, that's some, like I'm directing the heat. Channeling it up the blanket here. And get my arms in there. Get my arms warm. Like that. There we go. Wow. That's nice. So what's on my schedule for today? Apparently I'm cleaning a house. Small house. And I'm uploading 3 educational films to finish off a week. And this evening I will try to upload my weekly program guide and then as many radio shows as I can before my limit. And then if my limit hits and my daughter is available, try to figure out how I can do the check that takes 24 hours to clear so that when I come back from my weekend, I can just upload as many as I want, or at least have a greater limit. So there's that. And Friday, which is today, Friday, I don't know what I'm going to do. I can turn that down now because I'm channeling the heat here. That's great, man. Oh. I'm out of coffee and it's a little bit depressing because not only am I out here, there's only a cup left and there's no more coffee at all. So I think this is when we had decided that we were going to buy a grinder and switch to buying whole beans because it's cheaper. Of course, once you grind it down, it's probably more expensive. But this way we can kind of pick and choose our bean whole and kind of do a blend thing, you know, and say, well, I like this and I like this, and let's mix the two together and see what we come up with. Yeah, for sure. Hit me now and get painful later. Oh. Ooh, take that off and it's a little chilly out here. No, really. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Hope that my wife sleeps for another couple of hours and I can jump into bed. Or at least another hour. If she can stay in bed until 9, that'll give me time enough to finish up out of here and jump into bed. And then kind of flounder in there until, maybe she's got breakfast going. Because if I think about cooking food, oh, I'm not going to eat it. I was like that when I was a cook, when I was a fry cook, and a short order cook. I would spend 8 hours working in a kitchen, and I could not think about food during that 8 hours. I would take lunch, and I'd have a Coke and a smoke, right? If I was really hungry and I wanted to eat something, I would make myself a quick grilled cheese, and I would have that, and that would be my go-to snack while I was working as a cook. But lately I've never been a taster or a snacker while I've been cooking either. Usually I'll just, come taste this. What do you think? I want to be surprised. I want to know what it's going to taste like, but not until I'm eating it. So I'll usually just allow my nose to do the work for me. And then I might check a little dab on my tongue for salt content. But usually not. Usually I won't taste anything while I'm cooking. And I won't munch while I'm cooking. But lately I can't even get into the kitchen and cook anything if I'm supposed to eat it. Because I just, I'll make my daughter and wife food all day long if they want. But I'm not going to eat it. If I need something to eat, I'll try to get my wife to make it for me. Because I know that if I make it, I'm going to take a couple of bites and be like, bleh. Because I was there. I experienced it already. I'm over the smell. I don't want to taste it now. If it can get to me, and within a few seconds of it getting to me, I can get it into me, I can get it down before psychologically I react, right, and don't want it anymore. That's weird, but that's the way it is lately. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. It's hard to find anything that I can eat. I walk around the store and look, no, I don't want that. I've been there, done that. No, Nope, I know what that tastes like. Nope. And I just cannot deal with it. Honey, just make me, I don't care what it is, just make me something. Just put it in front of me and I'll eat it. Whatever. Because if I have to put too much thought into it, nope. Nope. So we're having roast beef tonight. We're having pot roast with mashed potatoes and gravy, and steamed carrots and corn, and yummy. Well, I still got teeth. But I make it pretty good. I like to roast it for a good long time in its own juices, so it stays nice and moist and tender. It gets really, really tender, like falling apart tender. And then bring it out and slice it up. Add those juices to some gravy, mix it up, heat it up, add that meat in there, and then let it simmer for another hour, right? Until the meat is just like, you can cut it with a fork, and by the time it hits your tongue, it's ready to swallow. It's just falling apart. Same thing with the mashed potatoes, just creamy. Am I drooling yet? Yeah, I am. So I'll more than likely be in charge of a good portion of getting the meal together. We've only got one house. Hopefully she'll get out early to see if it's ready to clean. I went out, was it yesterday, the day before yesterday? I went out the day before yesterday to check the mail, and swung by a house at like 10, and it was empty, so I ran in and cleaned it. So by the time my wife showed up, I'm like, all right, baby, I'm done. I'm out of here. And I did my stuff. And had the house pretty much wrapped up. All she had to do was make a couple of beds and Swiffer. So hopefully today will go as easy. I think that's the only thing on our plate, on our schedule. So it'll be nice to have a nice sit-down meal together. We'll arrange the living room here with the table and chairs again and get it all set up nice and pretty and dress the table, and that'll be nice. I'll see if we got a bottle of red wine for my wife and I, and maybe we'll crack a bottle. And if we can eat nice and early and have a little wine, watch a little Columbo get fucked up and jump in bed, I can get to bed early. Get up early. Get my daughter into going to bed early. Mainly because she's got to be coherent when I'm not. When I get behind the wheel and I'm, Mr. Zone. But, man, when I'm just sitting around, I'm Mr. fucking Magoo. Just snoozing. Mr. Magoon. I want this cup to be filled with coffee. But it's not. Well, that's okay, because 45 more minutes and I am going to crawl into bed and see how long I can lay there before I got to get back up and eat and go clean a house. Yesterday, technical difficulties. I looked up and my show was frozen, and I looked over and it had restarted a couple of times on my broadcasting software, and it just took too long. I got restarted and was streaming again over here, but by the time it reached YouTube, I got timed out and my show was canceled. So I didn't get an end of my show yesterday, which is kind of a bummer. But at the same time, I kind of hope it happens today, because I just want to be done. I just want to... I think I do need a break. I think I do need a couple of weeks off without the show, where I can sleep in. I can have some time to kind of wrap my head around a new direction for the channel. So time off should be good. Big Dog's trying to corkscrew herself into the couch. Oh, ain't she a gas? Yep. Ain't she a gas? Man. She looks as tired as I feel. Yeah. I'm run down. I'm run out. I'm run out. Oh, just flop down, dog. Just flop. Just flop. That's all you gotta do is flop. You don't have to make the couch. You don't have to make a bed. You just need to flop down. That's it. Just lay down. Just lay down. Just tuck your tail and lay down. There you go. There you are. Good girl. Lay down. Good girl. Good girl, big face. You're a big face. There you go. There you go, big face. Nope. Back up again. Yeah, it's a dog situation. It's a dog situation. She's so confused. It's tough to be a dog. I don't know how to lay on the couch. I just can't do it right. I don't know what to do. Tough to be me. Do I eat? Do I sleep? Do I poop? Do I drink? I don't know what to do. I just don't know. So I got my little cane stool. I don't know how long it's going to last. It says that it's for 250 pounds, but I used it a few times last night. And it seems somewhat sturdy. The material that it's built out of seems pretty strong. But use, I don't know how long it's going to last using it like all day long. As long as I remember to sit on it correctly and not do any weird leaning onto one leg or the other, I think I'll be okay. If I just sit firmly right down square in the middle of it and don't do any heavy shifting, I think I'll be all right. Yeah. It's got accessories, but I don't think there's any point in ordering accessories for it from online. In a couple of minutes, my wife can make a cushion for it, and I can put together some kind of a strap if I need a strap on it. There's a couple of things that I might want to change. There is this handle here is just pinched on. The metal has just got a couple of spots where it's just pinched, and that's it, to hold this handle on. And I fear that this handle it's pinched twice on each side, about an inch apart. And at some point, that pinch might work itself loose. So I might take a little nut and bolt through one of those, drill through one of those pinches to the other side and add a little nut and bolt in there. I also might make a sleeve for the handle so that to the sleeve I can attach a little strap with like a water bag and be able to put my water on the strap on the cane itself, because usually I just stick the water bottle in my back pocket, right? And I'm constantly taking it out and putting it back in, and then I take my cold water and it's up against my ass and it makes my ass cold, and then my water's warm. So I need something insulated I can put my water into and hang it on my side, on my bag, on my cane. Something like that. Yeah. Hey, oh wow. You're leaving Florida now. All right, well, peace, love, have a good, safe trip. See you on the flippity flop. Yeah. Right on, brother. Take it easy. I'll see you on Monday. Unless I talk to you over the weekend, then. Later. You guys have fun, man. Well, Flow rider. Watch out for them stupid drivers. Totally. 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 Crazy man, crazy man. Yeah, I'm worked. I've been getting less and less sleep all week long. And now I'm just running on fumes. I'm literally grabbing cat naps wherever I can, and I need to just get a good long sleep. And I think tonight's going to do it. Make a nice big meal, have dinner early, get stuff done early, get into bed early, and just try to get a good 8. Just try to get a good solid 8. That's all I need. I only get one good solid 8 like a month. I need to get a good one. A good one. That's a good one. Yeah. Oh, man. So let's see. Tonight I need to do a weekly program guide. I think that's going to be the main focus. Today I will try to do my finish my uploads and for this week, and then at some point today, in between whatever I got to do, come up with my weekly program guide for next week and get it uploaded, and then I can do as many uploads as I can after that. And then as soon as I run into the limit, I need to get my daughter out here and do that confirmation thing, get that over with. Or maybe I should keep myself limited so I don't spend too much time doing this, right? I mean, that limit is probably there for my benefit at this point. Don't focus too much. Don't do like 100, you know. So maybe it's best that I limit myself right now, which is what I've kind of been trying to do, and have been putting off doing this whole upgrade thing so I can do more uploads. I've been putting it off because it's a good thing. I hit that cap and it's like, okay, I got to stop this and go on and do something else now. If I don't hit that cap every day, I would spend way too much time pumping out videos. I'm already over 1,000 videos, which is kind of crazy. It's a lot of videos. And every single one, I keep going through my list of videos that I've uploaded, just like educational films. And each and every single one of them says something about who and why I am. Every single one has something, means something. Yeah. Pretty heavy shit. At some point, somebody's going to get it. Somebody's going to understand. Somebody's going to watch it all and tie it all together. And I need to do some documentary stuff in the fashion of an old educational film that kind of has that explanation to tie the channel together. The why of me, right? Yeah. Anyways, what are the siren? was drifting, drifting away. Well, there's about a half an hour left, and I've barely got a half hour left in me. It's been a long week. I've gotten way less done than I had hoped. Big time, as usual. I never seem to get enough done anymore. And as much as I'm running off to take a nap or go to sleep, I'm never getting enough of that either. I just ain't getting enough. That sucks. That sucks. Wow. I'm sorry, I was just looking at my couch and thinking about a couch cover and how to design it so that it's multi-use kind of a thing. And I think the best thing to design into it would be a top that goes up over the cushions and then hangs down over the back, and it can pull all the way over and go across the front and down with a little tucking, but it will go flip over and cover it again, so that when it's all the way up, it's covered and the dogs can get on it, no problem. When we have guests over, we can flip it down, and it can then have a cover over it again, right? And then this last one can flip over and down, and the cushions can be removed, and it can be flipped back to make it wider to lay across. Because I can kind of sleep on it okay, but with those cushions there, I kind of lose a little bit of space that could make it a little bit wider, right? So I think that would help. That would be beneficial. Totally, man. And pockets in the sides. That'd be, because it has pockets in the sides, but everything's covered up. So there you go. Crazy man, he's a crazy man. Yeah, I'm worked. I'm wiped out. I'm destroyed. I'm just a distraught. A distraught. Yeah. And I gotta pee. Well, I think getting up and moving around is gonna help, so I'm gonna go take a leak, and I'll be right back. I'm back. Barely. Yeah. There used to be an explanation for why I was so tired all the time. I was always doing shit. And now I'm just not. And I'm even more tired. Boy, oh boy. Oh boy. I think we're done with you for the morning. We're definitely done with you. Yeah, I guess normally I would have a bunch of shit on a list to do today, but it's pretty tough making a list this morning. So, weekly program guide. Uploads. Do them uploads first. And I got 3. And then make a weekly program guide. For was today really the Friday the 13th? That's cool. I dig that. So 14, 15, so 16, 12, 16 is the week that I'm making the weekly program guide for. And then whatever uploads I can do after that. Well, between going to clean a house, trying to take a little bit of a nap this morning, making dinner that's going to take a couple of hours, and all this stuff, I'm booked solid. Today, yeah, because I don't want to put anything heavy on my plate that's going to keep me up late. What I need to concern myself with is having something to wear for tomorrow. I think it's going to be the usual jeans and my corduroy shirt, hoodie, a t-shirt. I'm going to have to wear my Nikes because I'm going to be on my feet all day, and my Vans, they're okay for just like going out, but not for being on my feet all day. In fact, last night at some point I felt like I wanted to take my shoes off in the car, but I was driving, so that ain't gonna happen. All right. Let's see. Return, exchange. And that ought to take care of today. And let's go ahead and get rid of that and replace it with this one, which is everything. Yeah. Totally. Oh, man. Well, that's a good sign. It's a song in my head. I don't know what it is, just a melody. But that's a good sign. But I'm starving. I am starving. Starving Marving. Yeah. I think I'm going to have to snack on something before I lay down if I'm going to lay down. Uh-oh. I just dropped a couple of frames there. Is this the third hour technical difficulties here? You never know. It's always something weird. Always something weird here at Elsinore Brothers Studio. Totally. Alright, I'm spacing out again. Yeah. Hungry. Tired. Whooped. The only thing I can hope is that I get enough sleep for whatever tomorrow brings. That's it. Yep. I think while I'm cooking dinner today, I will be working on the weekly program guide. Get that done and uploaded. Ready to go. Have a shower. Get my wardrobe picked out. Laundered if I need to wash anything. Usually not. My wife is a laundry fanatic. Do this thing here. That's better. My belly. I hate it when the pants are cutting into me in the wrong place, right? Like there's a right place. Yeah, make sure I got phone chargers and memory, and take my battery charger here, and try to get my little bag of stuff set up so that I'm good to go. I'll have to find out today from my daughter what we're allowed to take in with us. I'm sure it's going to be limited. I'm sure there'll be a search. If I can take my bag in, that would be great, and then I can just put what I want inside of it. I'd like to get pictures of my daughter doing stuff, and then maybe get pictures of us together. That'd be neat. Oh, my body. Oh, my body. Look, they're hunched over. Because pain will quite often keep me from stretching out like that. The more I stretch out like that, the more pain I'm in. If I stay kind of hunched and closed in, then it seems to be less pain involved. You know, curled up in the fetal position, shivering. That's nice. That's nice. Totally. Totally. Yeah, I just don't know. I just don't fucking know anymore. I just don't know anymore. Then again, I don't think I've ever known. I just keep going forward. Just keep moving. All you can do is just keep swimming, man. Especially when it gets tough. Just keep moving. As long as you can move. And then when you can't move physically, just keep trying to move mentally. Blah. Yeah, calendar. Gotta get a calendar. It's calendar season. We were at the mall. My daughter got a calendar. She always gets a new calendar when she goes to the mall. What did she get? Labyrinth. David Bowie. Jennifer Connelly. The movie Labyrinth. She got a Labyrinth calendar. And it's like, where's David Bowie's birthday, right? I'm like, who puts a calendar together like that and doesn't have significant dates on the calendar, right? Like, here's David Bowie's birthday, here's Jim Henson's birthday, here's Jennifer Connelly's birthday, here's the day that it was released in theaters, here's the day it came out on VHS or on DVD, and yada yada. I mean, significant dates, the dates that movie production started, the day the original story was I mean, come on. If you're going to make a fucking calendar about something, put some fucking thought into it. Don't just, copy and paste some fucking holidays. Stupid asses, right? It's a nice calendar, but it could have been more. Anyways, enough ripping on the calendar. What am I going to eat? I think I'll just eat a piece of bread, piece of that lemon bread that's in there, and have a piece of that, and then maybe a little sip of milk, and then just crawl back into bed for an hour, and hopefully get up and eat, and then just get ready and go to work. Get that out of the way, come back, get that roast browned and in the oven, and I gotta put broth. I gotta put a lot of that beef broth in there this time. Important. So do I have any? I'll have to make sure I've got some. Pick some up on the way home if I don't. But I don't like a dry roast. So I like to heat up broth, brown it, put it in a pan, put it in the oven, get it hot, and then take broth, put it in that skillet, get the broth hot, and then drip it, pour it over the top of the roast as it's cooking, covered, and then just let it cook in there and simmer and flip it and baste it and flip it and baste it and keep a lot of moisture in there. Get a nice tender juicy roast. Heavily whipped mashed potatoes. I mean whipped until your arm is going to pull out of your socket. With a lot of milk and sour cream and butter and salt and pepper. And then take that juice from the roast that's left and add it to the gravy, and then let that simmer for a little while until it becomes thicker again. Thickerer. It's going to become thickerer, and then it'll be good to go. And that'll take about 3 hours. About an hour and a half, 2 hours in the oven roasting. And then chop it up and put it in the gravy and let it simmer while we're doing the potatoes and carrots and corn. Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait for pot roast tonight. So now I think I'll settle for a little squirt of milk and some of that lemon bundt cake. There's only a piece left, and I'm going to have to eat it. And then just crawl right back into bed. So, 3 educational films to upload today to finish off that week in January. And we'll see how long they take. The first one took 26 minutes. The next one took an hour and a half. This one hopefully will be a reasonable amount of time. These next 3, I'd like to do them in a short amount of time as possible. Get one started, go lay down, get up to eat breakfast, start another one, eat breakfast, get ready to go to work. Before I go to work, start that last one, come back from work, and then start dinner, and then work on the weekly program guide when dinner's rolling. Get that uploaded and on, and then hopefully be laying down and going to bed early tonight. I want to be in bed by 8 and out by 9 and try to sleep through the night and get up as late as possible tomorrow. I'm not going to get a nap today. I might go in and lay down for a little bit before breakfast, but I'm not going to get a nap. I didn't get a nap yesterday. I went in and I laid down, and I just kind of laid there and snored off and on. But I didn't get a nap. Just a short amount of time while waiting for my wife to get back. That was it. But I'm ready for sleep. I need sleep. Totally. Yeah. So tomorrow we're driving to Encino to go to an event for Pete Wentz, the bass player for Fall Out Boy, and some kind of tennis thing. So we're going to go check that out. And then my daughter's favorite band is Fall Out Boy. So I totally get it, and I'm totally going to make it happen if I can make it happen. Come hell or high water or pain. I got my cane with a stool on it. So that's going to help. Energy-wise, I'm just going to try to get a lot of sleep before we leave. Stay pumped up on caffeine while I'm gone. If there is an opportunity to close my eyes and rest for a half an hour to an hour at any point, I will take that opportunity. Go ahead, baby, just leave me here. I'm gonna lean up against this and close my eyes and try to for a few minutes, so that I'm refreshed for the drive back. Otherwise, it's eating lots of food and sucking down lots of caffeine, and that'll usually keep me fortified. Totally 45'd, man. I'm going to be totally 45'd. Yeah, well, it looks like it's just a couple of minutes shy of the end of this week. We should have lots to talk about on Monday morning, and then I'll be going from here Monday morning right into bed so that I can get up Monday evening and go into LA for another Fall Out Boy thing, I believe. So it should be fun. Fun on a bun. parking. That's always my biggest issue is parking. Anywhere we go out in the city, it's always, where are we going to park? Make sure to get us parking. And we'll spend $50-$60 on parking just to go somewhere for a couple of hours, just because it's that special, right? It's what it is, you know. If you're going to do this, you got to realize how big the budget's got to be to do that. You can't just get your tickets. It's got to be the tickets, and then it's got to be the gas out there, and then it's got to be the meals along the way, and then it's got to be parking. It's got to be this. It's got to be that, you know. So your budget's got to be big. Over budget is what you do. Overestimate. It is what it is. Oh, wow. It was really hard to get here this morning. Traffic was unbearable. Yeah. I thought for sure I would have technical difficulties here in the last hour, but I don't. But I'm just about ready to sign off for the morning, signing off for the week. Going out to Encino tomorrow with my daughter to see Pete Wentz and do some kind of tennis thing. So that'll be neat. And then Monday night we're going back out to LA to do another thing. So that'll be fun. But I will be back on Monday morning. I won't be doing much for the channel this weekend, but I'm good a month out right now. So by the end of this month, I should be 2 months out, right? I'm not even halfway through this month, and I'm a month ahead. So by the end of this month, I should be 2 months and a week, so that I can chew up that first week, and then have 3 weeks to play, and then a week to work on the channel, and then 3 weeks to play and a week to work on the channel. And I'm going to try to get into that routine so I can start to get into creating more original content. And that's my hope, you know. And with that, I will bid you a fond farewell for the week. I really enjoyed being here. Thank you for having me. I like being the governor of this channel. It is fantastic, if you know what I mean. If you do, if you don't, I don't give a shit, because I know what I mean. You know what I mean? We're gonna go round and round here. Alright, people. You know what to do. The usual, alright? Be cool to each other. Be nice. Be kind. Spread peace and love, not bullshit. Do something for yourself, but do something for somebody else too. Because why? Because we ain't alone in this world. We're together on this. Alright? Alright, people. Most especially stay weird, because if you ain't gonna be weird, nobody's gonna be weird for you. So just do it, man. Just be freaking weird. Alright, love you, people. Have a good one. Adios. I'll see you Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye now.